Bruno by Andres Fierro. Private Ramon Fierro shivered under the weight of his wool overcoat, his breath puffing out in quick clouds as he stomped his boots on the frozen earth. Snowflakes whirled around him, glittering like tiny diamonds in the pale morning light. It was another frigid day in the German countryside, the kind of cold that seeped into his bones and made him long for the dry, sun-baked warmth of his hometown in El Paso. He had never felt weather like this. Snow, ice, and the constant dampness that clung to everything like a stubborn shadow. Ramon was stationed at a small base near a quaint German town, nestled just beyond the tree line of a sprawling forest. He had grown accustomed to the monotony of patrols and drills, the endless gray skies, and the strange juxtaposition of war and nature. The town itself was picturesque, with its cobblestone streets and timbered houses, but the war had left its mark-shuttered windows, rationed goods, and wary eyes. Despite the grim times, Ramon had developed a fondness for the place and its people, particularly the children who often peeked out from behind their mothers' skirts to wave shyly at him. The town's zoo, a small collection of enclosures and habitats built on the edge of the forest, was a curiosity Ramon had visited once on a rare day off. He'd found it odd and a little sad to see exotic animals so far from their natural homes, much like himself. Still, the zoo was a source of pride for the locals, a reminder of better days before the war. One morning, as Ramon sipped on a cup of watery coffee in the mess hall, the alarm came. The bear was loose. Word spread quickly. The zoo's brown bear. A massive beast named Bruno had escaped his enclosure during the night. No one knew how, but the caretaker had found the gate mangled and tracks leading into the snowy forest. Bruno was a local legend, beloved by the townspeople, but now he was a danger. With food scarce and the harsh winter driving desperation, the bear could easily attack livestock, or worse. People. Ramon and his fellow soldiers were sent to help search for Bruno. The townsfolk, armed with whatever tools they could find, joined the effort. For hours they combed the forest, their boots crunching through the snow, and their voices echoing in the frosty stillness. Ramon kept his rifle slung over his shoulder, hoping he wouldn't have to use it. As the day wore on, tension grew. A farmer reported seeing Bruno near his barn, and the men hurried to the scene, only to find deep paw prints leading toward the town. Ramon's heart sank. The children would be playing in the square, the market bustling despite the cold. He quickened his pace. They found Bruno at the edge of town, near the schoolhouse. The bear stood on his hind legs, a towering shadow against the snow. His breath steamed in the icy air, and his eyes glinted with wildness and fear. The crowd of townspeople froze, their faces pale with terror. A child cried out, breaking the tense silence. Ramon stepped forward, his rifle trembling in his hands. He didn't want to shoot. Bruno was just an animal, lost and scared, like so many of them in this war. But the bear was too close to the people, his massive form a threat Ramon couldn't ignore. "Step back!" Ramon shouted in German, his voice carrying over the stillness. The crowd edged away, leaving him alone with Bruno. The bear growled, low and deep, a sound that rumbled through the ground and into Ramon's chest. He thought of home, of the desert sun warming his skin, of his family waiting for him. He thought of the children behind him, their lives dependent on his next move. "I'm sorry," he whispered, steadying his aim. The shot rang out, sharp and final. Bruno fell, his great body collapsing into the snow. Ramon stood there, his rifle still raised as the crowd erupted in shouts and cries. Some wept for the loss of the bear. Others cheered for Ramon's bravery. That night, as he sat alone in the barracks, Ramon couldn't shake the image of Bruno in the snow, the life fading from his eyes. He didn't feel like a hero, despite the grateful words of the townspeople. But he knew he had done what he had to, and that had to be enough. The next morning, the town presented Ramon with a medal crafted from salvaged materials, a simple gesture of thanks. He accepted it with a solemn nod, his heart heavy, but his resolve steady. The war would go on, the snow would keep falling, and he would carry the memory of Bruno with him, a reminder of the hard choices this world demanded.